Looks like it mostly works. Um, Here's the system that I use. There's two washers in there on the right side, followed by a lock nut. I didn't have space to put I didn't have space to put another nut on the other side of this bearing. It's glued in with epoxy on the inside. On the outside we have another lock nut, washer, and then there's the bearing. Same thing on both sides. This side I've been having problems where I'm having a hard time getting the washer to fit right. I kind of bored out too much around it. And I think it's giving me problems, First thing that I'm noticing is when I put this down and try and level it, it's hard to see on camera, but there's a gap right here in between the outer surface and this board, so it also looks somewhat uneven. Like if this side I try and even it out, then that side is dipping too much. And then over on this side, the problem that I'm having is, you can see there's more of a gap right here, but if you come to the other side, there is no gap. It just kind of disappears. I think I could fix this by pulling this 4x4 out a little bit and then making it evenly. Whoa. I already pinched myself once like that. Didn't feel so great. Yeah, I think I can just pull that out a little bit, and when I put a shelf on the bottom, make sure I'll make that length maybe nice and long, and hopefully I'll push that side out. I don't really know what to do about this bearing that keeps falling out. Maybe I could try your auto body, forget the name of this stuff. So, I mean, this is probably good enough that I could work with it. I would love it if it didn't catch on that side, but the fact that it's dipping down so much here, I'm having a hard time keeping it even, is a bit troublesome. And then my idea is, I've got some steel rod here, and my thought is that I could take and drill maybe holes through this 4x4 that would lock into this 2x4 here, and I'd probably have to put one across here, and then don't pinch myself, and then another hole kind of higher up right here that would lock into place, and just put those through all four sides, and then have it so I could pull the pin, flip it, and then do the other side. So that's my thought for how to handle that. Another thought, but I don't like it as much, is I could take a piece of like flat channeling and route out 1/8 of an inch here, and 1/8 of an inch in the plywood here, so that when it is flipped over this way they lock together, and maybe I could line it up so that wherever that channeling goes out, it would hold this in place at the right height. But I am a little bit worried about using just a thin amount of plywood to retain that channel, especially if it's going to have some weight being pushed on it. So yeah, it's not perfect. I'm almost wishing that I just scrapped this whole idea of having a rotating table. It seemed really cool. It does seem like it adds some of its own complications of itself, but just the fact that it was able to spin all the way around, I was totally not expecting that after I made these two cuts. Yeah, you can hear it kind of catching a little bit as it rocks back and forth. Anyhow, So there it is right now. Just need to add a lock, and darn, I don't even remember if I started portrait or landscape, but I need to add locks to it and kind of figure out how can I level it better, how can I get that bearing to stay where it's supposed to be. And I feel like that might be especially hard now that it's already put together, but maybe it just involves taking it apart. Yeah. Anyhow, that's it for now.